Hey, there he is.
What's up?
What's up, dude?
Hey, I was bopping to the little countdown music. I said, damn, that's a tight beat right there, man. I can almost freestyle off of that.
You know, it's gonna be a TikTok trend soon enough.
What?
No, it's like, you know, it's gonna be a TikTok trend soon enough. Like you do the whatchamacallit, the cell phone beats, and they put like a hip hop beat on and start bopping. They're gonna just do that with the restream music now too.
Yeah. Look, the freestyle over the intro beat. What you call it? The fuck?
No, I'm just gonna have some dude beatboxing over it. That's not even like an official beat. It's just some dude beatboxing. But anyway, today we're here with my good friend Rashad. We're gonna be talking about Black Adam. All the spoilers. Rashad,
the hierarchy of the DCU is about to change. Yes, sir. So I'm Rashad G Reviews. So I talk movies, shows. Sometimes I do a skit here and there, do some cooking videos, and you know, pretty much whatever comes into this crazy brain of mine, that's what I do. So thank you for inviting me on. Ready to talk Black Adam, get into some spoilers. Let's do the damn thing.
Dude, it's actually water. It's not alcohol this time. Unfortunately,
if you drink alcohol, drink alcohol. Shit, you know. Hey.
Dude, I wish we had that. Was the Cobra Kai? I was starting to get a little, iffy at the end. I don't know if you saw me.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice. I didn't notice at all. No.
But yeah. So, anyways, I mean, it's just there's been a lot of stuff that's been secretive about this movie. But the first few weeks, the few weeks before it came out, The Rock heavily hinted at stuff, and then other people did too. He's on talk show hosts. He's in interviews, basically. 90% confirming the after credit scene, but regardless, Black Adam is really simplistic. It's a fucking action movie. It's testosterone on the projector screen.
Yeah, and you know, and Justin, we needed that, bro. We need. I never thought I would say that. Okay, something that we've seen over and over again, something that's cliche. That okay, we've seen this would be refreshing because of the MCU. On the other hand, you know, their stuff is a lot more. I don't want to say complicated, but they're really going in different directions now. Whereas they got away from the classic old school superhero story, you know, simple to the point, hero kicking ass, villain comes in, fight the villain at the end, roll credits. You know, now we have alternate realities, quantum realms, and you know what I'm saying?
and like every movie's doing that shit now. That's the thing,
right?
And realistically, I'm gonna keep it real. I've always been a bigger DC fan, but I love Doctor Strange. I love No Way Home. Like, there's been a lot of Marvel stuff. Werewolf by Night, that was badass. Like, there's been a lot of stuff they put out that I equally enjoy. But I don't know. It's just like you were saying, we get just a straight up action movie, a bunch of cliche shit in there, of course. But it's just like it's badass, and I'm not even thinking about the plot. You just have like some generic setup shit, like The Rock reawakens after X amount of years, and he has to fight the Justice Society and protect this young kid in the town of Capital Village.
It was
city.
I think it was like all four, like all of the above.
Yeah, I like. That's the one thing I don't like. I'm not too well versed in Black Adam comics. I know some people are, or they just look it up on Wikipedia, but it's like, I'm assuming Kahndaq, at least in this iteration, was like a Middle Eastern type town. Like they had that vibe going on.
You know, to be honest with you, the first time I ever heard of Black Adam was through a DC animated movie that came out maybe 3 years ago called Superman and Shazam versus Black Adam.
Yeah.
So that's the first time I've ever even heard of him. I said, oh, so this is the evil version of Shazam. So I know. So I came into this movie like really knowing nothing of the lore, but just knowing that he has the same powers as Shazam does, and he's kind of a bad guy / anti-hero, you know.
Yeah, they never want to say he's a bad guy now in movies, whether it's Marvel, DC, or like anything. So you can't make a movie straight up about a bad guy unless it's like Joker and real artsy, I guess.
Yeah, well, especially if you have The Rock playing it, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you put The Rock in, The Rock can never play the villain again. I mean, in wrestling at one point, people forget Rock was a straight up bad guy. He was a heel. You know, The Rock, I mean, there was a time when you hated him because he was, the cocky, guy with the eyebrow and the glasses and talked to himself in the third person. Yeah, the people's eyebrow. But now he's such a good guy, such a likable guy. You can never just have him as the villain. Because I think originally they wanted him to be the villain in Shazam 2, and Rock like, nah, we're not doing that. I'm in this for the long game, Yeah,
I guess it was pretty much like, we're going to cast you as going to be a supporting role. Rock's like, supporting?
Right. Like, you know who I am?
Yeah. I'm the Juggernaut bit.
What? Supporting? It doesn't matter what you think. No, hell no. Like, even the whole Superman thing, he said, listen, this is not going to be just a one and done fight. Okay, Black Adam, Superman. No, we're telling a longer story here. So there's going to be some battles, but it's not just going to be like a one and done fight. We're going to stretch this thing out, and that's that wrestling mentality. You didn't see The Rock fight Stone Cold one time. Rock and Stone Cold had a lot of matches, and most of them were epic. You know what I mean?
Dude, I remember years ago. I forget. It was Stone Cold versus someone else, and there was like a giant grave. And there was like a monster truck in the background, and there was a casket there, and he was just pouring beers on someone who was in the dirt hole. I was just like, I always remember that shit because I thought it was real back, and I was like, I thought shit was about to go down.
Yeah, that was actually the Undertaker.
What? That makes sense.
Yeah, that was a buried alive match.
Yeah. But no, this movie, like, all I kind of expected going in, like, you see the trailers and they're all cool, and like, but it's The Rock at the end of the day. I was like, the people are going to see this movie are the people, not even like DC fans are going to see it, but the people who love The Rock and his action movies are going to see it, because at least in this movie, when you have him doing shit in other movies like Hobbs and Shaw, where he's holding a helicopter down with the chain with his bare hands, or like in San Andreas when he's underwater breathing for like 10 minutes and shit like that. All that crazy shit makes sense in this movie now because he's a superhero.
Yeah, he's invulnerable, man. He's unstoppable, and that's one of the. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna do this like in a structured way, but like one of the negatives that I had about this movie was that, you never at one time thought he was in danger. It was like script writing 101. We have to, have a reason to root for the hero. So you put the hero in situations where they're in danger. It's like, okay, how is he gonna overcome this? But at no point in this movie, even when they brought back the PS4 version of the Devil, we never felt like Black Adam was in danger. You know what I mean?
Nah, it was just like, it's kind of like that villain I felt was like Savannah or whatever in the first Shazam. Like it was supposed to be the cookie cutter bad guy just to kind of put in there, but like with Shazam, Shazam was on purpose, and this, it was just like for the sake of an action movie being an action movie. Like, I couldn't even tell you who the bad guy's name was in like any one-off like Rock movie, like Rampage or Skyscraper or like any of the. I think now I think maybe Negan was the bad guy in freaking Rampage. I think he was some dickhead in that movie, but I couldn't even remember.
Right. Well, probably the most menacing bad guy Rock ever fought in the movie was Idris Elba and Hobbs and Shaw. I'm Black Superman.
Yeah. Oh shit! That was a foreshadow.
Right. Oh damn! Ain't that some shit?
See, what would have made real sense is in the after credit scene, and like obviously it's a spoiler, and Henry Cavill even posted today officially on his Instagram.
Yeah.
But it would have been a real foreshadow if Henry Cavill had the black suit at the end credit scene.
That would have been dope.
He would have been Black Superman, like.
Right. That'd have been dope, man. And damn the internet, man. It's a blessing and a curse because. So I took my son to see it, right? My son's 6 years old, and of course, he doesn't know about any spoilers or leaks or anything. But I knew about the leak. I knew Henry Cavill was going to be in there. So when the moment happened, my son went crazy. He said, "Superman, it's Superman!" I'm like, I know. I'm sitting there like, I know, son. But at the same time, though, Justin, I was like, holy shit, like this is actually going to happen because I didn't think it was going to happen, man. So. I was like, I knew it was coming, but then I'm still like, holy shit, we're about to get this.
Yeah. And I think there was obviously breadcrumbs and leaks and shit like that. But I mean, there was leaks for Spider-Man and like no one said anything like that. But I think when he was at Comic-Con or whatever, he said something about it depends on who's playing Superman and stuff like that. I was like, all right, like that was like a fun little tease. It doesn't sway anyone either way or anything like that. But my friend Matt hopping in the chat said he liked it, 7.5 out of 10.
All right, Matt, what's going on, fam?
Yeah, I think I'll get back to that, but I think like 7.5. Like I would definitely agree with people. Like even if someone gives it like a 5, 6, 7, like I get it. Like either way.
Yeah.
But I think with everything with this, damn it, I just had a brain fart. He commented I had like brain fart. We were talking and damn, he said something.
Oh, thank you. Yes, he's complimenting my Elm Street 3 poster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
But no, I think and we were talking about the Superman thing. I think if The Rock just said that, like it depends on who's playing Superman. And you heard people be like, oh, like booing and like screaming at the same time.
Yeah.
But he went in interviews and was just like, oh yeah, the most powerful man on this planet is here to like fuck shit up kind of. He's like the most powerful man on the universe has been sitting on the sidelines for far too long. He said that like every interview. I was like, bro, come on. Like we're not even idiots. And then when he went on Jimmy Fallon or whatever, Jimmy Fallon's like, oh, that end credit scene was crazy. I was like, all I can say is, and he said the exact same thing I just did. But all I can say is welcome home. Like that.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, bro, like, can you make it more like that shit I think is too obvious. I'm like,
well, the word of the street is that he had a lot to do with they said that he went over, I guess, the head of Warner Brothers in DC, like he went over their head and then went to like I guess the big boss and said, listen, if this is gonna work, we have to have Henry Cavill back. And so that's when I guess when the one guy stepped down, so The Rock, I guess he has a lot of pull, man. He's like, look, if you want me to play this character and you're trying to revive this franchise, we have to bring Superman back, which and it makes sense. I know DC has a whole bunch of other characters, but come on, man. Superman and Batman are the face of DC, just like the Amazing Spider-Man and the Incredible Hulk are the face of Marvel. How you gonna go all this time and not have Superman?
No, dude, I feel that 100%. I think going along with the movie, like you had The Rock, you got his awakening, and I'll just like start by picking apart the movie because like the first third, I don't know if you felt this too, but like the first third, like I thought it was like straight to the point, well done. It had the setup it needed to, but I still felt like the editing in that first third was choppy. Like shit would go down and then it would cut to somewhere, then it would cut to somewhere. I did hear that like they edited the movie like 4 times to get the PG-13 rating. But they definitely pushed it. Like I will say, like they definitely pushed that shit because there's certain things I was like, oh damn, okay, all right. But I like maybe since DC doesn't need to focus on the huge universe or all of these movies that are like overly connected, maybe they can release extended versions without people batting an eye. Like I know Marvel is completely against that. Besides, like I think maybe Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man Far From Home had like some 6-minute longer version. And I think maybe like one other movie in like the 27 or 28 movies was like slightly extended.
Yeah. Yes, well, yeah, and bodies did hit the floor, man. Like, that I know they had to fight for that PG-13 rating, man, because Rock, he was Black Adam was like Jason out there, man. He was just catching bodies left and right, and without even thinking about it, he'll just take a guy, just throw him, and forget about him. Like, oh yeah, just throw that guy. Oh yeah, he's dead.
Like in that part, I was thinking about like Let There Be Carnage because I remember like every time they would try to do something, it would cut to this, cut to that. I was like, dude, like feel like there's ways you can do it. When you had like literally Black Adam doing some fucking like Mortal Kombat shit, he would grab someone's spine almost like Sub-Zero, not pull it out, but he would just shock them. You see the skeleton like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the day. They get shocked. You see like the skeleton on the inside.
Right.
And you see eventually he just like melts the person. I was like, all right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I gotta say that opening, like, okay, the first time you see him in action when he has the hood on and everything, like to me, that was the best part of the movie. Like that was the best intro to any like superhero bangs. He just came in right away, no words, no dialogue, just straight up physicality and fucking carnage. and just wiped all those motherfuckers out, you know. So I'm like, that's how you introduce a protagonist right there.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think
yeah,
like you have the cliche shit, like he says like a one-liner, and then it's like just wreck shit. Like I think he said something in like fuck Kandaki. I don't fucking like. I don't know what their language is called, or Egyptian, I think, maybe like some. But whatever. He said something like your magic is weak or something like that. Then he just did all that shit, wrecking people, stuff like that, throw them up in the air. I was just like, I see the CGI and I see the like cookie cutter action shit, but I was like, dude, I don't know what it is. It's just like this is every dream I had in video games when I was younger. Like
right.
I was like, I just want to do this and be like unstoppable. You got all the cheat codes in, nothing can hurt you. Like
Right. Well, that's a question I had too, right? So he was from this different country or whatever, and so when they do the flashbacks or whatever, they're speaking in their native language. He goes to sleep for 5,000 years. He wakes up and he speaks perfect English now. I said, okay. I mean, listen. I know they have to do that because they can't have. Of course, they can't have him speaking the native language throughout the movie. But I said, wait a minute. Did he have like hooked on phonics or something while he was sleeping? Like, how did he wake up after all those years and now he can speak perfect English?
Yeah. I get that. And I think some people shrug it off to be like, oh, yeah, dude, that was stupid. Like, they never explained it. Or like other people like, it's an action movie, whatever. And other people could probably say like, oh, when he became Shazam or whatever, like his mind got enhanced to her. Like, I don't know.
But you know, hey, who cares, right? You know, just I mean, because when you watch enough movies, when you watch movies like we do, as many movies as we watch, we can't help but to notice things like that. Like we don't go looking for it. It's just like, wait a minute, I just noticed, like, wait a minute, how does motherfucker know English? He was just speaking his native language 2 scenes ago.
Yeah. Dude, the best is the guys who played Clark and Lex on Smallville have this podcast called Talkville now. And they go through like every single episode. Like they're still on season 1 right now, but they're looking back and they're just talking about all the logic and shit. He's just like, he's like, how did Clark get past those cameras? Like, there's so many cameras back in the day, and then people be like, dude, you remember cameras in 2001? The shit looked like worse than South Park animation. Like,
yeah.
And like I was just like, he was. But there's just funny things they pick apart like that and stuff. I'm just like wait, Clark was 14 in season 1? Bro, the dude was like 25 in real life. What?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's this. We got Blacktastic in the building.
All right, Blacktastic. What's up, fam? We say I'm just happy for Dwayne Johnson being in it big time. Facts. Yeah, I mean, it took him 15 years to get this movie done, man. 15 freaking years. You know, that's how much time it took to, you know, for him to make this. And so the fact that it's out now, it's successful, you know, the critics shit on it, but the people love it, and he is the people's champ. So it makes sense.
That's the best marketing tactic ever. The people's champ, and it just shows the critics versus audience rating.
Yeah. I mean, because bro, this movie, yes, it's, you know, it may be flawed, it may have, but come on, man, it's a superhero movie. You know, like, you know, sometimes just turn your brain off and just say fuck it. You know what I mean?
I would say, like, definitely there's some movies I can do that for. Others, like, I'm not crazily into the Fast and Furious movies. Like, there's some parts of it I appreciate, but like the scene after where they're in the caves and shit, also really cool that they had how do I pronounce that? Jimon Hansu, the dude from Shazam, and he's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But same dude from Shazam reprising his role as the wizard or whatever. Like, I thought that was badass. But like when he gets out, they like every time he does something, it's like almost reminiscent of another movie, but then it goes in a different direction. Like they'll have the part where he's coming out, and you have your Quicksilver scene moment or Sonic the Hedgehog scene moment where they're playing Back in Black, I think, or no, Painted Black.
Yeah,
they're doing Painted Black, and he's he throws the helicopter thing, and then he like Call of Duty Zombie, like Wonder Waffles, all of them. And you see the electricity arcs go like. Like bounce off him. I was like, dude. I was just like, I was like, this is so cool. Yeah,
little copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the third act was the third act was probably the weakest part of the movie. Like when they brought in that villain at the end, that was easily the worst part, you know. Now I feel like they did that because I feel like the movie was probably over with maybe 30 minutes before. But they said, nah, we need we need something else. We need a villain for him. We need somebody big and bad for him to fight. And they just shoehorned this guy in there,
Yeah, and dude, I think it's just like we'll talk about the Justice Society in a second, but it's like they don't want to have the Justice Society be the definitive bad guys, and they don't want to have the Rock be the definitive bad guys. So who's the bad guy? But yeah. So what'd you think of the Justice Society?
I dug him. I thought, even though I thought Hawkman looked ridiculous, he's the DC version of the Falcon, pretty much. When like every time I saw him with that helmet, I mean, I know that's part of the character, but I was having like a Snoke moment where I'm like, take that ridiculous thing off,
Yeah.
Golly, but I like the little beef that him and Black Adam had. They was always going back and forth, the banter or whatever. Yeah. But at the same time, you're like, come on, man, Hawkman is nowhere on his level. Like at any time, Black Adam could have just like freaking just ripped him apart. But they had like a couple of fights or whatnot, and and it started to get a little repetitive too with the whole good guys don't kill. It comes down to heroes and villains, and heroes don't. It's like they had to constantly remind us that Black Adam is not supposed to kill. Like, okay, we get it, we understand. Yes, Black Adam is not a hero. He's gonna kill. You don't have to keep putting that in our heads.
Yeah, he's like, but I do.
But I do, yeah. But Cyclone and what's his name? I almost called him Blue Beetle.
Atom Smasher.
Atom Smasher.
Yeah.
People are not too crazy about them. I didn't mind them. I mean, they really serve no purpose, but just to be part of the team, and they had powers. So
yeah, pretty much.
I didn't mind them. Yeah, I didn't mind them. I thought they were okay.
Yeah, like I think Atom Smasher, he was on like Arrow or Legends or one of those shows or something like that. I was trying to remember, but I was like, I always got Atom Smasher and Atom confused. I was like, I forget how their powers are different or whatever. But yeah, Cyclone, like some of them are definitely like background characters. I think besides Dr. Fate, I'd say besides Dr. Fate and Hawkman, it realistically is kind of like the Great Value Justice League in the movie.
Right. I think Q Review called them a Dollar Tree Justice League.
Yeah.
But Dr. Fate, I'm sorry, I was gonna say Dr. Fate here, he was clearly the best. I think Dr. Fate was probably the best part of the movie besides Black Adam. Like Dr. Fate was the MVP. Like Pierce Brosnan killed it, man.
Oh yeah. And I think that's the thing to be curious about too, because they did put it out there in the movie like that this is the Justice Society. They don't take on like cosmic level threats or anything like that I got at least. But it's like they take care of the more smaller stuff. Yeah, they might be in cities and stuff like that, but it's like I think at one point they mentioned they never even heard of him or something like that, and they said like, oh yeah, you wouldn't, like we're really secretive and all this other stuff. But it's just like I guess that's like the explanation for like why the DCEU hasn't like established them, or like you heard, I think, what was it, Atom Smasher's dad was also Atom Smasher, right? Isn't that what it was?
Yeah. He was the OG, yeah. Or was it his uncle? I think it was his uncle or his pops or something like that.
Whoever Fonzie, Henry Winkler, like was in there.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot Fonzie was in there.
I agree with Blacktastic though, straight up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but my 6-year-old son, he was like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. Who? Her. I said, Cyclone, that's your girlfriend? He was like, yeah. I said, what happened to Sam from Cobra Kai? He said, oh, she can be my girlfriend too, but I like her.
Yeah, right? She's like, she's my girlfriend on Tuesdays and Saturdays.
What?
She's my girlfriend on Tuesdays and Saturdays.
Hey, nah, he's got good taste, man. He knows a pretty girl when he see one.
But dude, I was like, even with Dr. Fate, like you're always going to have the characters from Marvel and DC and their powers like crossing over with one another. And even for Dr. Fate, like I got like kind of like Doctor Strange and Mysterio vibes, certain things he did, like cloning himself and doing things. But I thought the whole like projecting his mind like into someone else. Yeah, they kind of did that in Doctor Strange too, but it was just like when The Rock was kind of stripped of his powers and put in the Waller's lab, I was like, I feel like Dr. Fate's gonna like use that like thing he talked about earlier in the movie, just like I'll be able to talk to you like remotely, even though I'm not here, like Luke Skywalker Last Jedi style or whatever. But I think the Justice Society was cool, but it was just like it's going to be things they probably just hot swap people out for in the future, and then maybe they're going to hear about the Justice Society. Who knows? Maybe Waller and Argus keep that shit quiet all these years.
Yeah. I mean, they might get their own, like, well, not Disney Plus, but WB or DC Plus show, whatever. I mean, I see it more on a smaller scale. Like, they probably never get their own movie, but like on a show, yeah, I can see them having a hour-long, show series.
Yeah, it's called Stargirl.
Oh, I've never watched it. I haven't watched any.
Yeah, Stargirl is all about like the Justice Society. It's not like the DCEU universe, unless they're gonna mindfuck us. I don't know, but
okay, I know. Yeah, because I haven't watched any DC shows, bro. Like, I've never seen Arrow. I think I started The Flash. I think I seen like the first season of The Flash, but I never really got into the DC WB shows.
Yeah, I won't go heavily into it, but there's good and bad. They have like fire seasons, and the next season will be like really weird and like I'm sure you've heard of the CW stuff. They'll be like try to be woke for the sake of being woke and inclusive. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being inclusive, but it's like they hold it in front of your face and try to make that the centerpiece and not the superhero story itself. So it's not. And I can't
stand that. Yeah,
it's not woven in naturally, But yeah, like so, they had the Justice Society. It wasn't bad, and I think there's like certain shots in the movie, like they had the fast-paced stuff, but there was like, I think there was one of the scenes where someone was shooting the Rock with a machine gun, and like you saw his hand going like this, like it was like there was a GoPro, like in front of him that was tracking his hand, like moving or something like that. I was like, that looks weird as shit, but it works for this stylistic movie. Yeah,
right. Yeah, it is like I never understood too, like when you have something that's indestructible like that, right? Why are you going to keep shooting him? Like, I think about shit like that too. Like, they're saying they're just firing away, right? And especially the moment when he catches the bullet, I'm like, dude,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm shooting at something, right, and I see the motherfucker catch the bullet, I'm not going to shoot. I'm like, you won.
I think power what you said. Like, I think it would have been funny if they came back later as like a foreshadow type thing.
Right.
They shoot him with the bullet and he sees it's like green and glowing because like they don't know like if kryptonite would hurt him or anything like that. Like, obviously Amanda Waller, like, it's established that she knew like kind of about him.
Right.
And so like she had like some dirt on him or something, but like still, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they could have had some sort of like, oh shit.
Well, another thing too, they established early on that the great value vibranium hurts him,
Yeah.
So okay, so something does hurt him. So I'm like, okay, so yeah, run with that. But they never go back. They never go back to that. So obviously it hurts them. And I think there's one other time where I think they were trying to hide the MacGuffin or whatever, and he had found it, but then it kind of like messed him up a little bit. So I'm like, but use that,
Yeah.
Give the bad guy some sort of advantage over him because he's just killing everybody at will,
Yeah, and it like he definitely has the like ultimate god complex, but I think that's what they were going for because obviously, like, if you got someone like Superman, like they've shown Superman being weak, but I guess it's just like, all right, well, like we have to show someone else, and we can't make him look as weak or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I did think it was cool though. Like, you have movies like Venom and stuff like that, or Morbius, where they're trying to do this whole anti-hero thing. But I feel like this was the first movie for me where like he's over in Kahndaq or whatever, and all the people in the city are just like, nah, dude, like, he's protecting us, like the people from America or wherever, like, you're trying to liberate us and hurt him. And the Justice Society, like, who are these dudes? Like, why are they messing with our hero? Like,
right.
We've been suffering for 28 years, and you're just gonna come in and try to ruin like the one chance of hope we have. I was like,
that was a dope scene, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like just dialogue like that. I was like, I know it's like pretty much an action like popcorn movie. I was like, yeah, like I like seeing that shit from other people's point of view.
No, facts. Yeah, that was a cool scene, man. And damn, I just had a brain fart too. What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh god, I don't even smoke weed, man. I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say.
You say, my name is Rashad, and I got a bald head.
Well, I got a bald head.
Yeah, like we were talking in text, and we were trying to say, like, yeah, there should have been some like more dumbass one-liners in this movie.
Well, then it would have tipped over into being cheesy and stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel this movie really told the line. I think it really told the line of, you know what I'm saying? Like, a little bit too much this way, it'd have been stupid, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess you're saying, like, if it pushed too far, then it would have been just, like, straight up, like, forgettable action logic out the window type.
It'd have been Batman. It'd been Batman and Robin, you know? Yeah. Like the never-ending puns, you know, everybody chill. Tonight Gotham Freeze is over. No, we don't need that again.
Yeah, what was that movie? The movie on, I think, The Samaritan with Stallone in it. He said something. I don't know if you saw that or not. I think it was like the one scene where he like threw a bomb at dude in the room or whatever. He's like, "Have a blast," and he walked away or something.
Yeah.
Like, all right, okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, maybe you can get away with one or two, man, but then when you start like just really just flooding them, and with The Rock, the way he portrayed Black Adam, that they could have easily done that, and it would have just took away all badassery away from him. You know what I'm saying? Because The Rock is he's no Robert De Niro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a what you would call a thespian, but you know, with what he can do, like they played to his strengths. You know, he was kind of the strong, silent type. Keep it that way, you know.
Yeah, and then like we were saying, the cookie cutter shit, the fish out of water stuff and whatnot, like interacting with people who don't understand him, and like later on they do get to that point where he's like easing up slightly, but he's still staying a smart ass. Like, don't kill these people or whatever, da da da. And he's like hanging them, like interrogating information up in the sky, and he just drops them. Yeah. And he's just like, oh yeah, well, like you caught him though. He's just like, yeah, because you were gonna kill him. I was just like, but they're not dead, they're right here.
Yeah.
Like, he's still like just gonna do that shit anyways because he knows like these people are who they are and they're just gonna like that's their weak point anyway. So
right. What'd you think about the kid? The kid that like looked up to him, like he was
like, what was his name? Like Amon or
I think it was Amon or something like I forgot his name.
Yeah.
I didn't mind him, but you know, I could tell some of the stuff they wrote for him to say was just stupid, you know. So
yeah,
not a bad kid actor, but they just didn't give him good stuff to work with.
Yeah, like one or two times it just kind of like felt forced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah. But I mean, I see what they were trying to do, the whole, you know, T-800 John Connor type of relationship, which it kind of worked, but there were times where I'm like, yeah, all right, just stop, just cut to something else.
I guess there's a fine line between like homage and then this like straight ripping off.
Right.
But yeah, Power, what you said, I remember now the Nickelodeon era of Power Rangers. I didn't watch all the episodes, but like I've seen some of them. But like what you're saying, the one girl in the movie, the girl's show is like, are the Power Rangers really gone? Like that, like she's trying to sell that like she's worried and stuff. I was like,
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, nah, definitely. And also I noticed that DC is really trying to implement more humor into their projects, whereas, you know, the Zack Snyder era was like really dark and serious and, you know, kind of somber in tone. And now they're saying, okay, let's lighten up a little bit and like let's put some jokes in here, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it, huh?
Yeah. I think they were definitely like more like funny, dark humor, and they've done that in movies before, but.
Right.
So like halfway through the movie, 2/3 of the way through the movie, I mean, you already got your DCEU stuff established, or like having the fight in the room, and then there's like Aquaman and Aquaman and Wonder Woman posters, and Superman's face got like burnt out and stuff. So I was like, all right, what is this, a foreshadow? You don't want us to see that he's like a white guy, or like any type of indication of if he's going to be like the Michael B. Jordan Superman that they were talking about, or something like that. Right. But like at that point, you had Amanda Waller, you had the dude from Shazam, Jimon Hanzu. Like I said, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
You say it better than me, bro. I can't. I don't even try to pronounce his name.
When they took Black Adam in, and he said Shazam, and he turned back, which is like I still like all that Shazam lore. Like I like how they implemented that, which still made it feel unique, but. So he said Shazam, and they tried to pull off like the Chris Evans skinny anorexic Captain America First Avenger type thing, and the Rocket looked a little weird in my opinion, but it might just be our brains telling us that like the CGI might look good, but it's like our brains are telling us no,
that's not the Rock. Yeah.
Like, but in that scene, the blonde chick from Argus or whatever grabbed him, and I was just like, why does she look familiar? Like, I feel like she's someone. I looked her up. It's the chick from Peacemaker.
Oh, okay.
Same character from the Peacemaker show. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I have it, but I haven't watched it yet. Yeah, I still haven't watched it. It's collecting dust now.
It's good. I think it's good. I think DC kind of is at the point where, not that they don't have to have continuity, but like they have. I think for a while they're trying to call it the DC Black Label stuff, which is like Robert Pattinson's Batman, Joker, like the side movies, and then the DCEU stuff, and then TV shows. But I don't think they have to have a connected story heavily every time or anything like that. Like, it doesn't have to lead anywhere. I think it might be funny that there's some little things in it from other movies, but So at the end of the day, like you already talked about it a little bit, but like third act, go into more detail. What were you thinking?
So what I said about the third act?
Yeah, you hinted at it a little bit, but yeah, you can go all in depth now, dude.
Yeah, it was very forgettable. Like I don't even remember the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like leading up to the third act, I could tell like my son was starting to lose interest. He was like, I'm looking at him. He's got his legs over his head. He's like doing this shit and can't sit still now. Like the movie just totally like kind of came to a halt, and it felt kind of disjointed from the rest of the movie. I don't know, like that whole thing with the lead bad guy. He wants the MacGuffin now because it's gonna give him unlimited power or whatever, and and at the same time, Black Adam has this revelation of, okay, I want to be better. I don't want to kill anymore, and I'm gonna give up my power. Because his whole origin actually took me for a loop also, because they showed his origin in the trailer, how he told me, well, I was a slave until I died, and then I was reborn a god. But then the movie made it look like it was his son that got the powers.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I was like, wait a minute. So when they actually showed what happened, I was like,
Well, I guess here's the thing also though, because in Shazam, when him and his buddies all held hands and they said Shazam, they all got the power and Billy still kept his power. But in Black Adam, when he did it, it switched to him. Or when his brother did it, it switched to The Rock. Or maybe I watched the scene wrong or misinterpreted it, but like,
no. The son, he sacrificed. He gave his power to save his father, but then as a result, he got killed.
Was it the son that died, or was it like the brother? Oh, it was the son. Yeah, right.
It was the son. Yeah, it was the son that died. Okay. Yeah, he was trying to protect his father, so he gave him his power, but then he got killed right as soon as he gave it to him. So, that is kind of funny how, Billy Batson, when he did it, like he still kept it, but then why didn't he? So did they change the rules in those 5,000 years? Did they, upgrade the policy?
Yeah. As far as the third act goes for me, it's kind of like the same thing. Like, you still have him doing badass shit at times. You have that like like the theme's badass. Like it plays throughout the whole movie. I appreciate that because movies don't do that much anymore.
Right.
Although in the Black Adam trailer, every trailer had, I think it was like a 90s song, and then Kanye sampled it. That like da 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 da.
Oh yeah.
Like I was like, that's what's up. I want to hear that in the movie, but I get it.
And that's what's missing now, because back in the day, not even just superheroes, but you can hear certain themes and say, okay, that's what's the name's theme. Of course, most notably Superman probably has the most popular theme. Like you hear Superman theme song, the John Williams, that's Superman. You hear Danny Elfman, that's Batman and Spider-Man. You know what I mean? So gone are the days of superheroes having their own theme song, and with Black Adam, they brought that back. So I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like it's just like Marvel. You do have some stuff like the Avengers. You have like Iron Man, like that. Like there's some. I could probably pick out like 4 or 5 really notable themes across all like 30 projects they've done, maybe 35 now. But in general, I think that third act, it was a little I think, like you said, it was a little rushed or it was a little shoehorned in. Maybe they did it with reshoots. Maybe, like they said, they were originally toying around with, like, which Justice Society member would be the actual bad guy. Like the Dr. Fate MacGuffin, like that was cool. And like the thing with his brother, like I like that. But it was realistically like, all right, like we know what's going to happen at this point. Like we got all the origin story stuff out of the way and the cool action. Like, what are we doing now?
Right. Yeah, I mean, even the Superman reveal, right? I mean, I know there's only so much they can do because it's just getting our appetites ready for the fight. But it's like every end credit scene, you always see it's always like a dialogue between them, like, "Hey, I know you too. Let's talk." Okay, roll credits. Like, oh, I mean, maybe have a scene where Shazam is like flying somewhere, then Superman kind of bumps up against him, like, "Oh shit, what's up, man?" And then they kind of have a little, I don't know, something other than let's talk. I'm tired of the let's talk shit.
Yeah. Well, they did. I will say, at least for this, it felt like it flowed better than the like completely disjointed like Morbius end credit scenes. I don't know if you saw Morbius.
No, not yet.
So you want me to say? I guess you don't want me to say anything.
No, go ahead. No, I don't give a shit.
The end credit scene, like in Morbius, spoilers for anyone who hadn't seen Morbius, but it's on Netflix, I think, still. But the first end credit scene they showed in the trailer, it's Michael Keaton appearing in Morbius's universe. He's like, hope the food's good in this joint. And like, I was like, but wait, Michael Keaton was sent to Morbius's universe? I thought it was like people who knew Spider-Man got sent back to their respected universe. They could mess with it because of Multiverse of Madness, I don't know. But the end credit scene for that is Morbius driving his car down the street or whatever. And then he opens his car door and then he steps outside and hears like the jetpack. And then he sees Vulture flying in and says like, oh, heard about this guy called Spider-Man. Figured me and you should talk. Start up a team or something like that. I was just like, it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like so shoehorned in because they've done it. Jesse Eisenberg did it with like the Justice League or whatever. Right. But I think in the Justice League they were talking about doing like the Injustice Society or something. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, well, I thought they were trying to set up the Legion of Doom. Tomorrow when they were on the boat, he was talking to was not Deadshot. Was it not Deadshot? But what's his name? Deathstroke. Yeah, Deathstroke. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, the movie was over, and I was happy with it. Like I overall, because the negatives we do have, like I said, I would love to see an R-rated or unrated cut. Doesn't even have to be that much longer. Just give me 5 more minutes. Give me the alternate takes with more violence. I was reading shit online of like they were talking about things that were cut, like a dude that was like ran over by a car after Black Adam threw him and like his head was like splatted and stuff. I was like, I mean, it might work. Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, like I gave it like 4 out of 5, which I would say like an 8 out of 10. But I will say that's just me being me and being generous. Like I know there's movies that I'll say it's a 10 out of 10. Like I don't know. Some movie you could say like The Manchurian Candidate or like Shawshank Redemption or one of those like really like solid movies. But like how many times are you gonna go back and watch that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I like Dave, interpreting the stars. That's why I like his grading system because he has like a biased score, then like an unbiased score. So it's like like how I really feel about the movie. Like, yeah, this is badass. But if we're putting our critic hat on, it's like, well, it was short of this. There was no character development, and so the movie really gets this grade. You know what I'm saying? So if you really want to critique it and be an asshole about it, you can pick this movie apart. But it was just so. I mean, you got some movies that are so damn likable and so entertaining where you just say, you know what, hell with it, man. Like I watched Terrifier 2 a couple weeks ago. Like that movie's getting a lot of buzz right now. Yeah. And Terrifier 2, that movie you can pick apart with your eyes closed, 2 hands behind your back. You know what I'm saying? Drunk as a skunk. But it was so fucking entertaining, bro. I didn't care about the flaws, but I just had a great time with it. And that's how I feel about Black Adam. I just had a great time. So I gave it a B. Yeah.
No, I feel exactly the same. And I think after everything's said and done, I mean, you've seen people's scores, and like the first 2 weeks before the movie came out, everyone was saying it was great. A week before the movie came out, all the critics were saying it's shit. Yeah. And then people were posting memes already, oh, this, that, whatever. And then first night it came out, everyone not giving it like perfect scores, not even giving it great scores, but it was like, no, this is pretty good. Like it's fun.
Yeah.
Like that's all people want in a rock movie. Like they just want fun, and that's what it was.
And shit, and it's way better than Love and Thunder. I will give it that.
I think so. Yeah.
I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, I was just gonna say I think Love and Thunder had all the pieces on the table. Like they had the Lady Thor storyline, and like we're obviously not gonna get too much into it, but like they had it with that. They had her cancer backstory and stuff, but it's just like only talked about for like 30 seconds and stuff, and it's just like you had all these pieces, but it didn't blend properly. I feel like even though there's certain things.
Sorry.
Oh shit. Oh no, keep it going, man. No, no, but like with this, it's just. You have the action, you have the DC references, you have all of this other stuff, and it just molds really well. There's like a few times here and there where you're just like, huh. Like where the editing could have been better, but
yeah.
I just think overall it was solid. It nothing felt realistically out of place. So
no. I mean, especially I watched it in Dolby, man, and I'm so spoiled now, bro. It's hard for me to go watch anything any other way now, you know.
Oh like, yeah.
Dolby is it for me, bro. The picture, the sound, you know, saying that was my son's first Dolby experience. Yeah. He said the same thing. He was like, he said, I like this theater. I said, I know, right? We're coming to this from now on.
Dude, it changes everything because like I just went to a regular theater for Black Adam because like the Dolby Cinema is like 25 minutes away from me on like the outskirts of Philly.
Right.
And the one it's called AMC 309 by me. It's like 10, 15 minutes away. There's no IMAX screens or whatever, but I was like, it's just closer, bro. Like I was just, it's like me taking an hour worth of travel versus a half hour worth of travel. So,
no, I feel you. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so as far as I want to pick your brain on like, as far as the DCEU goes, like what do you think's canon now? Where do you think they're going?
I'm not sure, but if they know what's good for them, Superman needs to be the anchor. He needs to be, you know, like build around like you're building. If you're building a championship team, you start with Michael Jordan and then you build a team around him. Take Superman, put him at the forefront, and then build around Superman, and you'll have a good foundation and just go from there. You know, that was Marvel's secret with building their shit. Was it started with Iron Man. They took Iron Man and they built around him, you know. So they need to build around Superman. Because right now it's a jumbled mess, but I feel Black Adam is the start to something successful.
Yeah.
And so if they can keep that up, keep that momentum going, I think they can I don't know if they'll ever surpass Marvel, because Marvel is like leaps and bounds ahead, you know what I mean?
I think that's the thing.
But they can come close.
I think that's the thing. Like they were vibing off Marvel before, and Zack Snyder was just trying to tell a story. Now I don't think Zack Snyder's like the god of DC or anything like that.
Right.
Like some of his projects are really good and really solid, and he might not know how to make a 2-hour movie or anything like that. But Zack Snyder's Justice League, like Man of Steel, even like the Ultimate Edition of BVS or whatever. Like I thought the stories were there, but that was his direction he was going in, but Warner Brothers was trying to go somewhere else. It's like you can't have this director making all these movies and your company wants to go somewhere else. Like you're gonna look like a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with the Flash movie coming out, so I guess the Flashpoint paradox is gonna reset everything. So I guess once it does that, then you can, like I said, build from Superman and Batman. You know what I'm saying? Because Superman and Batman, it's like MCU. Tony Stark and Steve Rogers, so Batman is also very popular. So build off of those two, and then I think they might have something.
And that might be their marketing standpoint too, because I think realistically, Justice League and Zack Snyder's Justice League, regardless, took place in I think 2017. I think. And then the movies that came after that were like Wonder Woman 84 was before, so they didn't have to worry about anything. And then I think Harley Quinn and The Suicide Squad were after that.
Right.
And I don't. Yeah,
it was let me see. Actually, because the first Suicide Squad dropped in 2016 after BVS, and then it was Wonder Woman, and then Justice League, and then what was 2017?
Aquaman, right?
Aquaman, the Aquaman. Yep.
And then Shazam came out somewhere in there.
Yeah, Shazam was like 2018, 2019. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I think they have all that now, but you're at the point where, like in the Black Adam movie, there's nothing that I think they presented that they can't explain.
Mm-hmm.
If it's Zack Snyder's Justice League universe or if it's Joss Whedon's Justice League universe, the Justice verse or whatever.
The Justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of like with Netflix Daredevil and Disney Plus. Like so far, there's nothing to dispute or cement that it's one version or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So they can kind of go either way. But it's just like, all right, you have the chick from Peacemaker, you have Amanda Waller in there, you have the dude from Shazam. With Henry Cavill appearing with the suit and then playing the John Williams theme, yeah, they did do that in the like Joss Whedon's version. But if there's like 5 years that happened in between with Superman,
yeah,
like even though he had black suit at the end of Zack Snyder's, like you can go either way. They don't. It's kind of like they put the John Williams theme in there because that's the theme like people know throughout time.
Mm-hmm.
Even though like I think Hans Zimmer's theme was great too, but.
Yeah, it's about it's about for Steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they got their work cut out for them, man. Because like you said, it can go either way. And like even when you look at the Suicide Squad movies, right? Like Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad, you could tell that first one was more around the Zack Snyderverse, where part 2 was more towards kind of what they're doing now, which is kind of the more lighthearted stuff. So even though they had the same characters from the first movie, but they're different, though. You know what I mean? It's not the same. Yeah, like, so they got their work cut out.
Yeah, it's like the Deadpool style where they're dark and like violent, but they're still doing funny shit, I guess.
Right. So yeah, they got their work cut out for them, man. But it can be done. Flashpoint resets everything, build from scratch. Batman, Superman, simplify it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like you were saying, that DC animated movie like Shazam and Black Adam versus Superman. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. But I mean, you have the Batgirl movie that got canceled and probably won't come back, and you have Shazam 2 is next. Shazam: Fury of the Gods, and then after that is the Flash movie, which. I think I have the second movie tie-in comic coming. I'm probably going to post some TikToks about it if people don't care about spoilers with that, if they like want to know. But and then Aquaman too. But either way, with all that stuff, it's just you don't really know. Like Black Adam doesn't really tell you what direction it's going. It's not like Marvel where they would tell you, "Oh, Thanos is coming" or all this other shit. It's just
right.
Yeah, it's just like we're doing whatever we want and still trying to keep it.
The only thing they really established is that there's going to be a fight, WrestleMania 50, between The Rock and Superman. Like that. That's all they pretty much gave us. Have you seen the animated movie? I think it's called Justice League. Was it Justice League War Apocalypse? Not War Apocalypse, but
was it the one in the 40s? Took place in the 40s or something?
No. It's supposed to be like, it's kind of like the end game. It's like Justice League end game almost, where they face off against Darkseid and they pretty much wipe out the whole Justice League. And then at the end, Flash. Oh well, I don't. Well, yeah. Well, damn, it's called Justice League War. I want to say it's called War Armageddon or something like that.
I definitely heard of it. Yeah.
I did a review for it. I said, I think I enjoyed this better than Endgame. So. But if you don't mind spoilers, you know what I'm saying, they can do that with this universe now, you know what I'm saying, where they just reset everything.
And I think that's the thing, Power, what you're saying, because like the DC animated movies, there's like some of them that are connected, some of them that aren't. You have like Batman Ninja, different iterations and stuff like that. And there's a lot they can do and they don't have to connect everything. Like I said, they just put the DC Black label on where it's like their own stories and they don't have to connect nothing. They can do multiverse stuff, but I feel like that's so played out now. It's fun for us because we get to see the cameos and crazy shit. But with the Flash, like who knows? With all these other movies, who knows? But I think at the end of the day, Black Adam did what it came here to do. It set up some stuff, some minor things, established some minor things for DCEU, but I think the only thing realistically going forward is like we're thinking about Superman and Shazam right now, and that's about it.
Right.
Next year's gonna be packed for DC. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And I did love that shot too at the end of the movie. The classic Black Adam shot where he sits on the throne. He's kind of like, just
oh yeah.
They was like, so how does it feel? He was like, this doesn't feel right. Like I'm not a king, I'm not a god, I'm just me. I just want to do my thing.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, before I wrap this up, dude, like, what do you have coming out now? What are you working on? What do you want to let the people know about? Because you're the people's champ right now. Forget The Rock.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, look. If I could just shred a few pounds of blubber off, man, and get back in the gym, I could probably be like The Rock, man. Get me a nice clean shave and shit.
Yeah.
But right now. So we're the month of October, so I've been covering a lot of horror movies this month. So I started out doing blaxploitation horror movies. So I got those out the way. Yeah, I got those out the way, and I reviewed like Terrifier 2 and VHS 99. So I have done some new stuff, but I'm going back old school tomorrow. I'm going to be dropping a review for Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Which is part of my Elm Street series that I've been doing with Darnell from Rejected Heroes Media. So we just reviewed Elm Street 5 last week, and so we're ending it with Freddy's Dead. And whoa, I am going to rip that movie apart, just like Pinhead.
Has it been a while since you've seen that one?
Yes. Yeah, because I saw it when it first came out in the theater in 91. They gave us 3D glasses and everything, and it was a big deal. And even then, I hated it,
Yeah.
So I watched it one time in the theater. I watched it when it first came on Blockbuster, and then I never watched it again.
Yeah, like that's what I started just because I was bored the other day. Like some movies like New Nightmare or like other ones, I was like, I'll just watch it because I remember like hating it, but I'll watch it again. Like I watched the reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street the other day. It's like, wow, they really went cookie cutter beat for beat from that. But yeah, so like I'm interested in that. And anything else you got in the oven?
And I'm jumping on another live stream after this. So with Pert Minded, I think we're talking Black Adam also. So I'm gonna be copying and pasting everything I said on here. Probably to that live stream.
I mean, I'm sure you're gonna riff off of each other, though. You're gonna make it your own either way. So
yeah. But other than that, that's it, man. I'm just trying to review as many horror movies as I can up until Halloween. So so this month has just been blaxploitation horror, some new horror, and my Elm Street series. And next year, Lord spare my life, I'll be covering the Friday the 13th movies.
Dude.
Yeah, so each season, each time I want to focus on a different slasher genre. Slasher series.
See, I like that because it's definitely unique going back to things you haven't seen in a while. Like I want to do that. Maybe like you were saying with TikTok, maybe I'll just throw up a quick minute review and stuff. But me, I got this 2-year-old thing I've been working on, Entertainment Road Trip Stranger Things. I bumped into Esley for it and stuff. It just became a huge project, more than I thought. The video is going to be over a half hour long, but that's coming on Halloween. Got some random TikTok things I got coming up, the live stream here, obviously, and I have to look to see what movies are coming out. Every once in a while, I'll do a random movie review. I want to play Resident Evil. I think Code Veronica I haven't played. There's The Quarry. I'm looking at my PS5 games here right now. The Quarry. I guess it's the old head mentality. Like we buy all these games and they just stay in the wrapper for like 3 years before we get to them. And then we get extra man when we see it for like PlayStation Plus free monthly game.
Right. Well, bro, I stopped at the PS2, man. So that shows how much of an old head I am.
I got my PS2
I think the last game I actually purchased was Madden like 2008. That's the last video game I ever bought. Yeah. My daughter, she has a PS4, so she plays Fortnite and GTA like nonstop. But me personally, I stopped at the PS2, man.
I mean, I don't blame you though. It's just so time consuming, hard drives, updates, all that stuff. But hey, I want to thank you for coming on my channel. I think it's the first time you've been on my channel.
Yeah, I think so, man.
I think I usually just collab like on Perez's or someone else's. But yeah, dude, I'm down to do this again. Like we have to get a huge group. Doesn't matter what it is. Invite me on for whatever. Even if I haven't seen it, I will see it.
No doubt, man. Yeah, let's do it again, bro. This was fun.
Oh yeah, dude. Everyone, thank you for watching. Make sure to go over to Rashad's channel, hit him up, his TikTok, all that good stuff. Links in the description. So that's about it. Thank you, Rashad, for stopping by, dude. Good luck on your next live stream.
Yeah, right. Which will be starting in about another 30 minutes.
All right, everyone. Take care.